this. There we are. A lot of buttons to press to get to all of these things. Okay, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday. We got our yoga this morning. If you have blocks, have them handy. You do not need them, but you can have them. What do you need them for? I just remember looking and being like, oh, you can have blocks. I don't remember. That's okay. Come on down to your mat. Make your way onto your back into your starting Shavasana. Put that over there, out of the way. Take up as much space as you would like this morning. Who is that joining in? Tanya. Good morning, Tanya. All right, take those heels out nice and wide. Take the arms where it feels good for you to start. So if that's palms facing up to receive some energy, or maybe that's palms to face down, maybe you take your arms up overhead, choosing that position for you that feels good. Starting with just a simple scan. So we are in stillness, likely, maybe not for some of you, the start of your day, start of your movement practice. So just taking a simple notice of how the body is feeling after the weekend, after the Saturday full body workout, maybe there's some tension or tightness. So we're going to really focus on those areas and just breathe into them as we flow today. Let's take one more big breath in where you are. And then you're going to switch your hand position so that your right hand is on your belly and your left hand is on your heart or chest space. And then I want you to take 4 cycles of deep breath here. Really breathing into your hands, so really expanding in the belly, expanding in the heart, the chest. And as you exhale, just feeling, letting that go. And maybe you can sink deeper in your mat on your exhales this morning. Take another big breath in through the nose. Feeling the ribs expand. Feeling the belly rise. Big inhale and big exhale. And then on your next breath in, once you've made it there, take a full cycle of breath in, hold it at the top. Pause. And then side out of the mouth. Good. Let's slide those ankles to touch in the center of the space. Take a big inhale, reach the arms all the way up overhead. And then as you exhale, slide the elbows down by your side to create cactus arms. Bend both legs in, planting both feet. Lift your hips up and slightly over to the right, let the knees fall over to the left. So you're in just cactus arms here, pressing the backs of the hands down and letting the knees fall to the left. Just taking one big breath in here and one big breath out. On your next breath in, bring those knees back through center, press through the feet, lift the hips up and over slightly to the left. Let the knees fall over to the right. Oh, that feels so good. Okay, take a nice big breath in right there. And a big breath out. Let's inhale those knees back up through center. Bring your hips to center. Bring your feet in towards one another so ankles touch. Let the knees fall open. So Baddha Konasana legs, knees fall open, soles of feet touch. And we're just going to move from our shoulders here. So bringing those palms down towards your mat, your arms stay in that cactus shape, and then inhale the backs of the hands to come back to touch. Now you might notice that internal rotation as you bring your palms towards the mat, I definitely can't get my hands to reach. I don't want you to drop your fingertips down. Keep your arms, fingertips to elbows in a nice long line here. Just a couple more times, just getting into the shoulders a little bit. Maybe noticing if the rotation can happen a little bit deeper every time you go here. One more time, dropping the hands down. Good. And then lifting it back up. Nice job. Okay, from here, let's bring those knees back to touch. We'll lift the right leg up towards sky ceiling. Take the hands in behind that leg. Flex through the toes. We're just going to give ourselves a nice little hamstring stretch here because why not? Hamstrings can get quite tight and into that low back. Take a big breath in, lift the head, neck, and shoulders off of your mat. Giving that nice little pull there. And then slowly releasing that down. Other side, other leg lifts up. Okay, flexing through those toes, taking that grip in behind the calf, flexing as much as you can on your next breath in. Lift head, neck, and shoulders. Big pull there. And then slowly lowering that down. The last thing we're going to do on our mats in this position is taking those hands towards the pelvis, planting the feet into your mat, we're just gonna come into some little tilts here. So I just want you to be super aware of the tilts, anterior and posterior. So as you tilt your hips under, pressing into that low back, oh, that should feel good. And then we tilt the hips forward and then creating that arch. So it's kind of like a cat and cow for the pelvis, a little micro cat and cow there. And doing that a couple more times. As you breathe, you can keep your eyes closed here. Give yourself one more forward and back, wherever you are. Oh, that feels so good. Okay. Hug your knees into your chest. Take your hands in behind those legs. Give yourself 2 or 3 rocks along that spine, making your way all the way up into a seated position. All right. Good morning, good morning. We are now seating. Okay, take those hands to the knees, sitting nice and tall. Take a nice big breath in and a big breath out. Take a big breath in again. Reach the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale the hands down towards heart center. Take a pause there. Okay, you can close your eyes if you'd like. Maybe bowing that head slightly forward. Just set an intention for yourself, for your practice, for your morning, for your afternoon, for your evening, wherever and whenever this is for you. One more big breath in. Big breath out. Okay. Making your way, when you are ready, into tabletop position. All right, we're going right into it today. Starting in that tabletop, spread those fingers nice and wide. Just draw a couple of circles around over top of those wrists. Rotating around, spread the fingers wide, just noticing how that feels for you. Change the direction, go the opposite way. Good, breathing there. And then from here, we'll come into tabletop, neutral, and we're just gonna draw some nice big rotation. So like lateral cat and cow. Okay, so thinking of big circular motion in one direction, trying to create as much movement as you can into that body. You can bend the elbows. Go ahead, change the direction, go the opposite way, making sure you're rounding, coming into flexion and extension through that spine, giving a nice little massage into that back. Good. Coming into your neutral tabletop, keeping the toes tucked or untucked, your choice. We're gonna go super slow, starting with the tailbone, okay? So we're gonna come into our segmental cat and cow. So dropping those hips, raising the hips high, dropping the belly, and then coming all the way up so that the gaze comes forward. And then we're gonna start with that tailbone once again, tuck it under, pull the belly button up and in, puff up through that spine, super slow towards the chest, comes towards the chest. The chin comes towards the chest. You guys know what we're doing here. Starting again with the tail, we're leading with the tail. Keep your gaze tucked, slowly drop that belly, drop the chest. And then the last thing will come up is that chin, that gaze to look up. Last one here, tuck the tail under, pull the belly button up and in. It's hard when you really go slow, exaggerating that move. Nice job. Okay, from here, come back into your neutral tabletop. Maybe you have to make some little adjustments. We're gonna hover those knees. Tuck your toes, lift the knees off of the mat. Nice neutral spine. Really want you to think of what's happening in through your core today. So that nice brace position. See if you can hug it in a little bit more. Those knees are just off of the mat. Press into those hands, taking a big breath in for 3. For 2, press into those arms a little bit more. And for 1, lift the hips up and back, making your way into our first downward facing dog. Giving a nice little pedal if that feels good for you into the backs of those legs. Maybe it's a nice deep knee bend with a nice stretch. Think of those armpits coming back behind you and those hips coming nice and high. Heels don't have to be touching the ground here. They can be slightly lifted. That is totally depending on how you feel in your down dog. All right, from here, let's come high on the toes. Bend the knees, look to the hands, take a nice big step forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back, lengthen through that spine. Exhale to release. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, flat back. Lengthen, exhale, release. 1 more time there. Full breath in, lengthen as much as you can, crown of head to tail, and then really let go on that exhale. Heel toe those feet to about hip distance apart and come into ragdoll. Grabbing either elbow here, really letting go of that head, making sure there's no tension. If the sway feels good here, that is totally cool. You can take it into that sway. If stillness feels cool, that is good as well. Opening up that back body for 3. For 2. And for 1. Release those hands back down towards your mat. Heel toe those feet together towards each other one more time. And then take a big breath in, sweep the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale down towards heart center. All right, take a pause here. Notice how you're feeling from when we made our way up from down on our mats. Okay, let's take a big breath in, sweep the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. In breath, hands to shins, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands down, step it back to your plank. Take a nice pause in that plank. Option to be down on those knees if you need that. Hugging in that core once again, tightening up the quads, the glutes, hugging the belly button up and in, pressing into your hands. Come higher on your tippy toes. Big inhale, exhale down, chaturanga. Option to lower those knees if you'd like. Hug the elbows in breath, upward dog or baby cobra. Exhale it back, downward facing dog. All right. Right away, come high on those tippy toes. Bend the knees, look to the hands. Take a nice big step forward. In breath, hands to shins, lengthen. Exhale, release and fold. In breath, circle stick those arms all the way up to standing. We're gonna fold right away. Forward fold. In breath, hands to shins, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands down, step it back, plank pose. Pause in that plank. Once again, we like those pauses. We like to activate through that core. Option to be on those knees if you need it. Take one more breath in, come higher on the toes. Exhale down, chaturanga, hug the elbows in. In breath, upward dog or baby cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Take your feet about shoulder distance apart at the back of your mat. Walk your hands back to the back of your mat and come right into your malasana pose. Nice deep squat at the back of your mat this morning. Okay, elbows to the inside of the knees, hands to prayer. Think of pulling your chest up as much as you can. You feel like you're in this rounded little ball, you might be. So drive those elbows in as much as you can and breathe here for 4. Push the elbows as much as you can, 3. Pull the chest forward, 2. And for 1. Keep your feet where they are, forward fold over those legs. Okay, so we're just gonna give ourselves a little bit of a reset. We're gonna do one more balasana at the back of your mat. You can move however feels good in that fold. Maybe it's a sway from side to side in the hips, and then we sink right back down. One more little deep squat here. Elbows to the inside, hands to prayer. Good. Push those elbows into those knees. Pull the chest forward and through as much as you can for 3. For 2. Walk those hands right back out to your plank pose. Bringing those feet back together where it feels good for you. Come higher on those tippy toes. We'll do a nice little chaturanga here. Lower down, in breath, upward dog or baby cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Right away, we're gonna lift the right leg nice and high. 3-legged dog, bend through that knee and open up that hip. So think of lifting that knee as high as you can, taking a nice big breath in right there. And then fully exhale out. On your next breath in, shift to 3-legged plank. Right elbow towards right knee. Nope, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, lengthen, kick that leg right back up. Exhale, right knee towards right elbow. 2 more times. Breath in, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee to elbow. I'm gonna keep saying it wrong. 1 more time here. Big breath in, lengthen and kick. Bring it forward towards that elbow. Hold for 3. For 2. Plant your right foot down on the outside of the right hand. All right, you are in lizard here. We're gonna lower the left knee down. Untuck the left toes. Shift your weight into that left hand, take a big sweep and hold right there for 3. Open chest, open hip. For 2. And for 1, nice job. Bringing that right hand back down towards your mat. Tuck the left toes, lift that left knee off of the mat. Breathing here for 3. For 2, sink into those hips as much as you can for 1. All right, listen up again. We're gonna lift that right arm up, open up here. So we've got this beautiful low lunge. No knee is on the ground, press into that left heel a little bit more for 3. Reach that right arm, take your gaze up for 2. All right, couple of options here. We're going into side plank. Right foot steps to left. You have the option to lower that left knee and come into a modified plank, or step it back to that stack plank. If that wrist is bothering you, you can come right down to forearm plank. Doesn't matter what option you're choosing, you go to where feels good for you. Breathing for 3, 2.5, for 2. Take one more big breath in here. Maybe you can lift the hips a little bit higher from your mat. Go ahead and make your way to center plank. Give a nice big breath in that center plank. Lift those shoulders far, lift the shoulders. Bring the shoulders further forward, chaturanga. Lower down. In breath, upward dog or baby cobra. Exhale it back, downward facing dog. Come high in those tippy toes. Bend the knees, look to the hands, take a nice big step forward. In breath, halfway lift, hands to shins, lengthen. Exhale, release and fold. In breath, circle sweep those arms all the way up. Exhale down into chair. Okay, you have the option to keep the hands at heart center. You can reach the arms up overhead. Maybe any arm position that feels good for you. If you want to come into like an eagle arm, you can take it there. I don't care. Choose what feels good for you and then sit the hips a little bit lower. Squeeze the knees in towards one another. We're gonna create some nice heat here for 5. Big breath in, 4, 3. Sink a little bit deeper, pull your core in a little bit more, 2. Forward fold on 1, nice job. Okay, inhale, hands to shins, lengthen through that spine. Exhale, plant the hands down, step it back, plank pose. Pause in your plank. Take a big breath in. Come forward, chaturanga. In breath, upward dog or baby cobra. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts, 3-legged down dog. Pointing through that toe and then bend through that heel. Lift that knee up as much as you can. Breathe here, press into those hands. Press that right heel down towards the mat. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Inhale, 3-legged plank, left knee to left elbow. In breath, kick it up. 3 more. Exhale. Inhale, lift. 2 more. Exhale forward. Elbow to knee, knee to elbow. 1 more time. Bring it forward. Hold it there and pause for 3. See if you can lift that knee up and in for 2. Higher. Plant the left foot down on the outside of the left hand. Lower the right knee down. Untuck the right toes. All right, a little lizard here. Let's take a big sweep of that left arm. Open up chest and shoulder. Think of driving into that outside of that left knee. Pushing into the left feet, toes. Take a big breath in right there. Bring the left hand back down towards your mat. Tuck your right toes, lift your back right knee off of your mat. Hold there. Check in, press back into that right heel as much as you can. Think of letting those hips drop a little bit more. And then take a big sweep of that left arm once again, stacking in through those arms. Take your gaze up to the left fingertips. Breathing here for 3. Get that nice rotation from the upper body for 2. We step right into side plank. Option here, stepping that left foot to meet the right. Balance. Ooh, stacking. Option to be down on that right knee. Option to lift that left foot. Option to be on the right forearm. Hold your side plank. Check in with that core once again. Breathing here for 3. For 2, if your top leg is lifted, can you lift it higher? Lift your hips further away from your mat. Make your way to center plank. Woo! Some nice heat there. Take a big breath in on that plank. Shift forward, lower down, chaturanga. In breath, upward dog or baby cobra. Exhale it back, downward facing dog. Right away, come high on the tippy toes, bend the knees, look to the hands. Big step forward. In breath, hands to shins, lengthen. Exhale, release, fold. Right away, drop the hips down, sweep the arms overhead into chair or hands to heart center. Little chair challenge this morning. Drop your hips down, get your chest proud. If you're here in chair, that's a funny chair. We don't sit like that in a chair. We want to try to keep our chest up. It is challenging. The legs fire up. Squeeze those knees toward one another. Towards one another, yes. Bring your hands towards heart center. Everybody, take a big breath in. Twist over to your right. Left elbow hooks to the outside of that right knee. Okay, press those palms towards one another. See if you can get the hips a little lower. Take a big breath in. And out. In breath back towards center. Other side. Right elbow hooks to left knee. Some serious fire there, team. Take a big breath in. Get your chest up. Hips low. In-breath to center. Exhale, release and forward fold. Oh, that feels good, that forward fold. In-breath, hands to shins, lengthen through that spine. Exhale, plant those hands down, step it back to your plank. All right, lower down when you are ready into your chaturanga. Exhale, in-breath, upward dog or baby cobra. Take it back to a child's pose. Pause, hips towards heels, walk those hands forward, resting that forehead down on the mat. If you want to grab a quick sip of water, feel free. And then we're going to move on to some more flows. Okay. We've got some serious core happening today as well. Take one more breath in your child's pose if you are there. Shift yourself forward into your tabletop, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. All right, right leg's gonna sweep nice and high, three-legged dog. Woo! Shift that leg forward and through, planting it in between those hands, coming up to high crescent lunge. Okay, so feet are on separate tracks. Sink nice and deep into that right knee. Press back into that left heel as much as you can, sweep the arms overhead. Relax the shoulders down. That means taking the arms wider. It's like a little stone. There we go. On my mat. Turn your pinky fingers inward slightly and then extend through your fingers as much as you can. Sink deeper into that right knee. Take a big breath in here. And a big breath out. Good, let's sweep those arms beside us, palms to face down. Shift the chest forward and then inhale, sweep the arms back up. Good, exhale, runner's lunge. Good, in breath all the way up. Last one here, exhale, shifting it forward. Hold and pause there. See if you can reach your fingertips further down and back. Hug your shoulder blades to the spine. Press back into that left heel, lengthen through the crown of your head. Take one more big breath in here. Bring your hands to heart center. Keep yourself shifted forward. Pop off of your back left foot to come into warrior three. Okay, a little balance here. Taking a nice big breath in. That right leg should start to fire quite quickly. Got some serious work here. Here's where, I didn't give you a heads up, you'll need your block. So if you have your block handy, perfect. If you don't, water bottle, a weight is fine. Take one more breath in your warrior three. That right leg is firing, taking yourself into half moon right away. Opening up, whoop, that left side. Kick into that left foot, reach that right arm. You can also take your hand towards that hip if that feels good. Maybe you can challenge yourself this morning to take your gaze up to the left fingertips. Breathing here for three. Oh my goodness, for two. And for one, listen up. We're gonna bend into that right leg as much as you can, slowly making your way to warrior two. How is the right leg feeling, everybody? Some serious fire this morning. Okay, sink deeper into that right leg. Keep it firing, keep it firing. Gaze comes over the right fingertips. Sink a little bit deeper into that right leg. Right heel is in line with the left at the back. Okay, take a big breath in. Sink a little bit deeper, exhale. Maybe add a slight tuck of that tail on the left side, or sorry, on the left side. Tuck of the tail, that is all. Sink deeper. We're holding, yes, we're breathing. Let's flip the front right palm, reverse your warrior. Flow it out here into side angle. Exhale, reach the left arm overhead. In breath to your reverse. Reach the right arm up. Sink deep into that right knee, don't shift. Exhale, side angle. One more time into your reverse. In breath, take your time, come into your side angle to hold here. Oh, there's some serious fire to that right leg for sure. Option to stay here. Option to have your hand down towards your mat, hand overhead as well. Choose your variation where you are at this morning for three. For two. Warrior two, come on back up. Straight through that front right leg, thankfully. Pivot the toes in. You are in your straddle. Interlace those hands in behind you. Press down and back, open up chest and shoulders. Exhale, release and forward fold. A nice little soft bend into those knees, please. All right, let those arms hang out and fall to where feels good for you. One more big breath in. One more big breath out. Release the hands back towards the low back, and then take the fingertips towards your mat. Come on over to the right side. Come into a low lunge. You can lift the toes on the left foot. You can reach the arms here. Keep them on the mat. Sink deep into that right foot. Try to have your right heel down on your mat if you can. If you can't, you can also take your block there for support and more of a sitting low lunge. Take one more big breath in here. Pivot around to the front of your mat. Step your right foot back to meet your left into your plank. That is a long series, my friend. Take a big breath in. Come high on those toes, shoulders forward. Exhale. Chaturanga. In breath, upward dog or baby cobra. Exhale it back. Downward facing dog. Other side. Left leg sweeps up. Three-legged dog. Sweep it forward and through. Planting that foot down. When you are ready, prepare yourself to come up to runner's lunge. Okay. All of that. Ooh, balance for this side. Okay. Pressing into that right heel at the back as much as you can. Try to lengthen through that leg. Arms are up overhead. Pinkies turn in. Extend through those fingertips. Sink deep into that left knee. Breathe and hang out here. Prepping into that left leg. See if you can get that knee a little bit further forward. One more breath in. Sweep the arms beside you. Palms to face down. Spread the fingers the entire time. Intention through the arms. In breath up. Exhale, sweep. Two more. Breath in. Exhale out. One more time here. Breath in, sweep it forward and up. Exhale to your runners, palms down, long line. Press into that right heel. Reach those arms back behind you. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Extend through the fingers. Take a big breath in here. What's going on in the core? Exhale it out. Bend deeper into that left leg, popping off of the right foot to come to your warrior three. Hands towards heart center. All right, press into that right heel. Pretend you're standing on your right foot or pressing it into a wall behind you. Dropping that right hip, maybe. I just noticed mine were very open. Drop the right hip down so the hips are square. Take one more big breath in here. Open up to your half moon. Block, floor, water bottle, stacking arms, hands to hip, whatever feels good for you. Challenge yourself. Can you look up towards the right fingertips? Maybe. Breathe here for 3. We're almost there. Hang out for 2. Slow, deep, knee bend to transition right into warrior 2. Can you do it? Oh, that left leg. Okay. Sinking deep into the left knee, shoulders over hips, maybe making any adjustments you need to. Slight tuck at the tail, or relax the shoulders down and back. Taking a big breath in here. Sink deeper into that left leg if you can. 2 more breaths. Big inhale. Exhale, 1 more. Big inhale. Exhale. Flip your front left palm, reverse your warrior on the breath in. Exhale, side angle. Reaching that right arm up overhead. In breath, left arm comes up and over. Slow it out here. Exhale, side angle. Woo. Some serious fire. 1 more time in breath. Reverse your warrior. Exhale, side angle of your choice. Arm can rest. Arm can extend. Arm can come down towards your mat. You choose which one feels the best for you. Breathe here for 3. For 2. Return to warrior 2. 1 breath. Extend through that left leg. Pivot the left foot. Oh, interlace those hands weirdly in behind. Press down and back. Open up chest and shoulders. When you are ready, fold it forward. Releasing there. That is some serious work this morning, team. Let those arms hang and fall wherever feels good for you. Take 1 more breath. Bring those hands back towards the low back and then slowly release the hands towards the mat. Make your way over to the left side, bending deep into that left knee, lifting the right toes off. Fan lunge for this side. Hands to prayer, hands overhead, hands on the mat. Whatever feels best for you. Flex through those right toes. Oh, that should feel good for that hamstring inner thigh. Breathe for 3. For 2, pivot around to the front of your mat for 1. Step your left foot back to meet your right. High plank. Take 1 more big breath in here. Chaturanga. Exhale, lower down. In breath, upward dog or baby cobra. Take it back to a nice wide child's pose. Bring those knees as wide as you can. Walk the hands over to the right once you are there and pause. Left fingertips reach further or place your left hand on top of the right. Push back into that left hip. Take a big breath in there and a big breath out. Nice job. Walk your hands back through center. All the way over to the left side of your mat. Take your right hand further or on top of the left. Press back and down into that right hip. Good. Breathing there. In breath. And exhale. Walking yourself back through center. Shifting yourself forward and through when you are ready to table. Swinging those legs around to the front of your mat. Team, some serious work this morning. That was tough. Some good little combos there. Let's take those heels down in front. Scoot yourself forward. Flex through the toes. Take your hands forward. Modified bow pose. Lean yourself back. Okay, reach the fingertips once again. Keep reaching forward. Holding here. Press into the heels. Lengthen through your spine. And then tuck your tail under. Keep reaching the hands forward. Roll yourself all the way down. Take your time to your mat. Once you've made it there, go slow, go slow. Make your way into a happy baby. Taking the feet out nice and wide, knees down towards the outside of the ribs. Grabbing a hold of outside edges of those feet. You can rock in your happy baby. You can be in stillness. Close your eyes if that feels good for you. Opening up those hips, hamstrings, all of the feels. Taking one more big breath in here. And then slowly exhale and release those legs to the mat. Okay, last one here, team. Take your feet roughly hip distance apart. Press into those feet. Take your hands beside you. Lift the hips up and away from your mat. Coming into bridge pose. Okay, hands by your side. You can also take elbows by your side, palms in. You can also take the option to interlace the hands underneath of those hips. Choose one of the three, and then I really want you to root through your feet. Anything that's touching your mat, can you push into your mat more? Can you push into those areas a little bit more to lift and squeeze and breathe? Close your eyes and then really think of glutes active, feet active. We breathe for 3, for 2. Slowly lower the hips back down towards your mat. Hug your knees into your chest, lift the head, neck, and shoulders, the tightest little ball you can make. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Give yourself a big hug here. And then making your way into your resting Shavasana. Take the feet out nice and wide. Oh, take up as much mat space as you can. Arms out towards the side, arms overhead. Whatever feels good to allow that body to just sink deep, to rest, to breathe, to focus on that breath. Oh, that was some serious heat. Okay, what am I sharing with you today? I love this message. Okay, you are in your resting Shavasana, closing your eyes, breathing into the body wherever is needed. Okay, a good one. Almost when you least expect it, things fall into place. You realize that what left was making space. You realize that what was left making space for you was about to arrive. The quiet you let, I can't read this morning, the quiet let you hear the guidance. The unhappiness forced you to make a move. The unsettledness made you keep seeking. The end ushered in new beginning. The doors that closed turned you towards the ones that were opening. The lessons were always leading you. Every time you got it wrong, you came one step closer to having it right. Except for my reading was very wrong today. I apologize. But a little smile, a little laugh. Monday morning, I need another coffee. Let's take a big breath in, slide your ankles to touch, reach your arms all the way overhead. Big long body stretch here. Making your way onto the right side or the left, whatever feels good for you, leaving that bottom arm as a little cushion, coming into your fetal and pause. I should probably share that message so you can read it yourself because I butchered it. Maybe coming back to your own intention this morning is better for you. Slowly, when you are ready, pressing yourself up to seated. Coming into cross legs if that feels all right for those hips. We'll take one last big breath in together, scoop the arms all the way up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hands down towards heart center. Namaste, everybody. Amazing, amazing job. Woo, got some serious heat in that lower body today, some core work, all of the good stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Happy Monday, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday. We've got lower body this week. Yes, okay. Bye, guys. Have a great day.